Today we're going to be straightening a 2015 Ford Fusion using a Champ frame machine. Before any pulling, it's always a good idea to sit and think about how the car got hit, what happened, and how you're going to reverse that process. In this situation, it got hit in the back, pushed it in and up. So we're going to have to make a plate and pull from that plate back and down. And here's a close-up shot of that plate, and this was welded up with a Millermatic 90. And we're just going to bolt that right up to the where the bumper bolts and pull from here. For the first pull, we're just going to try to come out and down a little bit, and I have a jack right on the crease where it bent up. So while this pulls down, this sort of pushes up. And if you feel uncomfortable, you can hang a blanket over the chain in case. I'm not sure about this clasp right here, how strong that is. And let me just do a little bit of hitting on this crease, and maybe that will help pull this out. Okay, we'll continue to pull. Hopefully nothing lets loose. And I'm just hitting some crowns right now, parts that became a crown in the accident, and if you hit on those, you can see the dent sort of walk right out. And we do have a little ways to go. I might pull a little bit more down and on an angle on the next pull, but we'll go a little bit more here. And I think that's good for that pull. I might want to pull up higher here or pull down on an angle, and that's what this little guy is for. Underneath the vehicle, the subframe is sort of bent just like that. So what we're trying to do is put a jack right there on that crease, and we're going to pull down like that. And while this is pulling down, I'm hitting along these crowns and they're sort of flattening out. And this sort of, I'm hoping this sort of walks out a little bit. There's a big dent up here. And what I'm trying to do is pull down, then pull out, pull down, pull out. So I might have to stop with this pull when I think I pulled it enough, and then come back to pulling it out. This large hook will hook inside of the trunk for the next pull. And now we have the C-clamp and a piece of wood clamped to the trunk opening, and we're going to try to pull it out this way just to work out this dent, start to work out this dent at the top of the quarter panel. And we'll just see if this will work. Not sure if it'll work or not. Whether that lip is going to start bending or what. See if I can get to it from that side. And now I'm going to get a porta power inside there and try to push this quarter out. I'll move the camera so you can see that. And this is what the porta power looks like inside the trunk. We have the base against a block of wood with a bunched up shirt behind it, and then as we follow it along we can see that it's going to push up there against that dent. And now with a little pressure on here and some pressure on the porta power, we should be able to get that somewhat out so that we can start pulling down here on the frame again. But I want to make sure that this is let loose a little bit. And there's a body line. I tried to get the porta power right on that body line. Now I'll try to get it up here and get this out just a little bit to loosen that up so that when we do more pulling on the frame, the subframe, this isn't holding it back. I gotta be real careful right up here at that corner. I don't want nothing crazy to happen to break this back window. So we're gonna take it real easy. And now I have the porta power, the edge right on that body line. We're gonna just try to work that out a little bit, and then we're gonna call it on this. And that's good. We're going to leave it just like that. We'll work this out with a hammer and dolly. Maybe pull right here and here with some shims. And then we'll finish it up later. Now we're going to go back down to the subframe and pull that a little bit straighter. Finally, now that I know nothing's holding this back anymore, the trunk, the quarter panel, this part, nothing's holding this back. Now I can really yank on it. And now I'm just going to look and make sure that we have that subframe nice and straight. And now I'll come around in the trunk, hammer that down. And now what I think, we're going to come up here, grab it right here, and do one more pull back. And this will be the last pull. We're going to pull from the top. I'm just going to try to get this to tilt a little bit that way. That's why I'm pulling from the top. And these C-clamps are just to keep it from pulling out in the middle. We got bolts on the outside, so it sort of wants to come out in the middle. So while I pull back on this, I have some high areas in the trunk that I'm going to pound on, and hopefully we'll get that nice and straight. If the gaps aren't exactly the way you like them, you can either pull the quarter panels together using a come-along or push them apart using a porta-power. In this situation, we welded a piece of sheet metal here and over here, and we're going to pull them together just a little bit. So we're going to put some tension on it, and then we're just going to tap on each quarter panel with the sludge hammer. That's good for that side. And that should do it. And here's a close-up shot of the gap on the left side and the right side. After squaring up the area with the frame machine and making a few adjustments with the porta-power from inside the trunk, pushing against firm areas, or using the come-along to pull with, it's a good idea to test fit the replacement parts to make sure they fit before cutting anything in or going any further. Before installing the new parts permanently, we wipe them down with wax and grease remover, or you can use thinner, scuff them with a pad like this, and we'll be painting with the Spectrum HVLP gun from Harbor Freight. And incidentally, this gets covered up, so we just scuffed this outer perimeter. We'll be spraying just that, leaving this alone. Here's a quick shot of what the quarter looks like before the bumper cover goes on permanently. All the plastic parts got shattered in the accident and were replaced by used auto parts from Highway Auto Parts in Roseville, Michigan. If you're looking for quality used parts at a reasonable price, check them out. And incidentally, this is just seam sealer. I wanted to make sure that that vent was sealed up and we didn't have any trunk leaks. And the factory had little stickers over the holes, and I just replaced those stickers with some two-way tape. I hope you enjoyed this video on unibody frame straightening, and if you did and you'd like to see the bodywork and paint matching videos that will be done in this vehicle, don't forget to hit the subscribe button.